You are now listening to Oversaturated, the podcast hosted by Johnnie and Ralph. Now let's get it.
Welcome to another episode of Oversaturated, the podcast, where we discuss music, movies, pop culture, and everything in between. I'm Johnnie.
And I'm Ralph.
Welcome to episode number 106.
106.
Ooh.
And I have no AKA today. I failed you guys. I'm so sorry.
Oh man.
No AKA. I didn't want to half-ass on the AKA, so I was like, I gotta come with something creative. So trust me, catch me next week. I got y'all.
Got it. All right, cool. New listeners, please follow us on all social media. Facebook, just search Oversaturated the podcast. Instagram is Oversat the podcast. Twitter is Oversat podcast. And our email is oversatpodcast@gmail.com. And check out our website, oversatthepod.com. Anything you need to know about OS is there.
Yes, sir. And if you want to follow us individually, I'm TheMindOfRalph on Instagram and Twitter.
On Twitter, I'm JON, 2 underscores, the letter B. On Instagram, I'm JBS_ESL_AAMU.
What's happening? I know people that are listening to this episode like, oh, the sound quality is a little different. Yeah, we're back to Zoom, but it's only temporarily, I guarantee you. But This is well worth it. Trust me. We have our good friend, artist, producer, all around hustler, friend of the show, if I might add. FreshC's in the house. Say what's up to the people, Fresh.
What's up, y'all? Shout out to you guys, man. Like, I don't know. It's always an event coming in and hanging with you guys. Like, you know what I mean? And for the listeners out there, don't follow me. I'm boring as hell. But y'all follow Ralph and Johnnie.
Don't even do that. Don't even do that.
Don't follow them.
Fresh's followers are coming over right now. We appreciate Fresh.
Follow these gentlemen. Ignore me.
That's hella funny, man. How's everybody doing, man?
Oh man,
I'm doing great.
Like we said in pre-production, man. I'm doing great, man. Energy off the charts, man. You know, can't complain.
That's
I could definitely. Oh my bad.
No, you gotta go ahead.
I could definitely feel the different energy, bro. Like, not even gonna lie.
Thank you.
Straight up. You too, Johnnie. I see you on the gram a lot more than ever.
Listen, look, me and you know, you and I, we had this talk offline a few months ago, but like, I'm trying to up my social media presence just a tad, not a whole lot, just a tad. You know, I'm back on the tennis court. I'm feeling a little better about social media. So, you know, yeah.
I see you winning I see you winning matches because I see you all the time. I see you on Twitter and stuff. I'm like, okay, all right, that's what's up. Because before it was like nothing. I see the podcast and Ralph.
Yeah,
I see the podcast and Ralph, and that's it.
Well, look, I appreciate the fact that you noticed. So, that's what's up. That makes me feel good. That means
like I tell bro, just post, man. The people will come, man. They see you. They'll see it. They see it. They may not say nothing, but they see it.
Listen, I still haven't gotten the whole real thing down on Instagram. That's a whole different animal. I'm just now starting to use filters. Like it's way too much.
Let me just say this: just to have one social media outlet, whatever it is, it's like you master it, and then next week it's like, what the fuck is all this new shit?
Exactly.
Like, comments gone, likes gone, stories gone, transformation filters. It's like, what, bro? It's like a television show every week for social media. It's like, what channel are you trying to be on?
Absolutely.
It's way too much. I like the fact you can post on Instagram and it'll automatically post to Facebook. Now I ain't got to go over to Facebook. Like,
I feel that.
It's great. And like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of just saying I got a TikTok out loud, but TikTok does post to multiple social media places. Oh, yeah. So like if you do all your editing on that one video, it can go to Snapchat, it can go to Facebook, it can go to all these other places. So
that's crazy.
Definitely.
I love it. I love it. But hey, people, we got a guest in the house. So, we got him for only a brief amount of time. So we'll get into Off the Dome right now. The Dome.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
I'll go first.
Okay.
Me and Johnny had a spirited conversation about sports. So this will be a good conversation just for us to have. What is I would say a good, your sports failed, something that you tried to do sporting wise and it just didn't live up to the hype, or something like that. And I'll go with tennis.
Tennis, bro. Tennis. No lie, got smacked right in the forehead and laid out, bro.
Hey, listen, people don't realize it's harder than it looks.
Oh
it's
my God, it's
harder
hard.
than it looks.
Yo, and I'm not even gonna front. You know who schooled me is my grandma. As a kid, she played tennis in college. She was like, "Oh, you play basketball and stuff. Let's play tennis." I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm like over here telling my friends at school, like, I'm about to whoop on my grandma. Nah, bro, my grandma gave me the business right to the forehead, and she was like, "Oh, you can play football, you can play ball good, but this is a different game." I'm like, hands up, I'm out. Never again. I was done.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. I was telling Ralph before you got into Zoom, like I'm in a league now. I'm on a team in the league, and I'm the youngest person in the league, right? So all the men and women in the league are 40, 45 and over, but these people have played forever, so their play is different. They got different spins and they got a lot of other tricks that I ain't really used to. So it's no, they can play, and it's definitely something you could play well into your 90s. I've seen 90-year-olds play doubles, it's crazy. So yeah, tennis is great.
That's fire, man. I for whatever reason, I don't know what it was. I played around, we played racquetball a lot, in the streets out here with friends and stuff like that. But I don't know what it is, because I think it's just because the different sports that I played, I'm used to force, not technique, like football, basketball, baseball, especially baseball. So when I'm swinging that racket, I'm going ham, and they're like, what are you doing, bro? Sit your ass down. It's not about that.
Yeah. It's more finesse than anything. Mine is more of a football story. This is going back to my young Ralph days. I was 9, and I was always the larger boy. So they wanted to make me go play with the 11, 12-year-olds. I was like, oh no. And one drill, that's all I needed, and they knocked my ass completely out. I was like, oh, okay, no, I'll go home. Let me get into these books. Let me go. Let's go find something else.
You're study class? I'm there.
Yeah, I'm there.
Where are we going?
Wait, they turned you into Professor Hulk? That's crazy. That's crazy.
I must have been doing something wrong with them 9-year-olds. They was like, no, go over there with them. It's middle school, man. What you mean?
Listen, I have a similar story to that, actually. So I played Pee Wee football. I can't remember my age, but I was super young, super tiny. And we were in practice doing a drill. I may have been a running back or something. And somebody came and just knocked me out. And my mom said, nope, we're going home. My mom said, my baby not playing football no more. And I thank her to this day, because that was trash. To this day, I really don't like team sports. I don't like to play team sports.
I can't. I'm not mad at that.
Nah, I try basketball. I've tried a lot of soccer, all that. Nope, I'm good. Give me on the court by myself. I'm straight.
I got something to add to that. Here, my whole reasoning of not really, even though I played sports all my life, baseball pretty much since my inception. So I was old enough to pick up a ball and a bat. I was playing baseball. But football and basketball were always fun. But my biggest thing is I also like doing individual sports. So boxing and track and field. Yep. Obviously I used to run from the cops all the time. So I was like, yo, I could do this shit. You know what I mean? Put me on the motherfucking track. Let's do this. And I won a lot of medals. I just keeping it real. I didn't really care too much about track, but I would kill it. And it helped me for scholastics and scholarships and shit. Yeah. But going back to that, because it was hard for me to lose off another man's merit. So being on a team and when you show up and how do I say this loosely without being politically incorrect? There's certain people that don't put any fucking effort into shit. And I just happen to be, there's only me and 2 other minorities in my high school team for everything, bro. I was the only Mexican kid. He was the only brother on the team. Then we had an Asian cat, and we stuck together on everything because we were the kids that didn't fit in, we could play. We were all good at what we did, but a lot of kids bitch and complain too fucking much. And it used to get me in trouble because I'm like, yo, if you ain't going to get on the line and you ain't going to practice like you play, get the fuck out of here. I used to get in trouble all the time.
No, that's real. So that's real.
I have a huge problem with people in team sports because I don't like losing. I'm super competitive. I'll just like I'm sure you guys are or were at that time. Like I don't like losing, especially when somebody's just being a chump. And like just having a shit ass attitude, you know what I mean?
No, that's real.
Sure.
That's real.
I love it.
I love it. Okay, so for my off the dome, y'all know there's a lot of TV show remakes and reboots and all that type of stuff. So I want to ask you guys if you could bring back one more season of a TV show that previously went off air or got canceled, what TV show would it be?
Go
ahead.
Oh no, you go first. Go ahead.
Oh, see, I was
gonna go. I thought y'all was thinking, so I'll go first if y'all was thinking.
No, I was thinking.
So for me, mine is the Carmichael Show.
Okay.
I love the Carmichael Show. I think it was only 2 seasons, if I'm not mistaken. But that show was great. It was funny. It was well thought out, funny. It touched on a lot of current event topics. It was just a magnificent show, man, and it was just so smart and funny. Like I really enjoyed it. I only
got to watch 1 season of that. There was 2 seasons of that.
Yeah, I think they're both on Hulu if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. I'm gonna write this down right now. Then I need to finish the second one.
Gerard Carmichael is a fool, man. What you got, Ralph?
Well, it's fair to say. Me and my wife was talking about this the other night, but The Wire. We're both Wire fans, Wire stands. But I think because a lot of the alumni of the show, as far as the kids that were kids at the time, we can fast forward and get into what they're doing now, and we can do one standalone season of that, see how that works, and then kind of ride off into the sunset. And I think most Wire fans would be okay with that.
Yeah, no, I love that show, man, on HBO. When it first came out, we were hella ghetto, man. I'm not even gonna front. My childhood was very rich in fulfillment and in the hood and barrio and everything in between. But we had those cable chips back in the day, and we had a homie from around the way. $99 hookup, everything.
All
we
the
had
channels, pay-per-view, all that. Yeah,
all that shit, and that's when I found The Wire. So yeah, great show. I would have to say mine's music related. It would be Rap City, The Basement with Big Tigger. I missed that show.
Okay.
That shit, like that shit as a kid made me believe that this rap shit was real. Like no shade towards MTV, but I just love BET. I don't know what it was. Like they had the ciphers. Big Tigger was funny as fuck. Like you know what I mean? Like they had something that was just very unique that nobody else had. Yeah. In my opinion. No,
you're right, Fresh, because I think Rap City, The Basement at the time, it was just a perfect marriage of 2000s era rap and what Big Tigger brought, and it was just the era. It'll be kind of hard to duplicate it though, but I love to see somebody try to bring it back though.
Man, Big Tigger is underappreciated, man. He used to get in there and rap with all the rappers. Everybody. Like Big Tigger wasn't a rapper, at least I don't think he was. Like he did have that one verse on he who shall not be named song. But that's it. I didn't think Big Tigger was an actual rapper.
Big Tigger was on a lot of mixtapes too at that time though. He was on like Ludacris, 50 Cent, like the G Unit radios. Like he made a lot of cameos.
I didn't know. Now that I didn't know. I'll rap over there.
Yeah. Big Tigger was everywhere. Like, and shout out to Russ, because Russ and Schoolboy Q just did that little on that video. Man, Russ killed it with that Chomp album. I don't care what nobody says. Like, Russ,
like the EP, right?
Yeah,
that was fire.
Yeah, they redid it, and they had Big Tigger in it with him and Schoolboy Q, and they recreated the cipher for a video.
Oh, that's hard. I missed. Damn.
Oh, bro.
Yeah, that Chomp EP was hard though.
Yeah.
Russ to me is like, I slept on him for a long time, but I love what he stands for and his music, like his rap shit. I'm not really like the girl R&B ish type of guy, but he can fucking rap, and his business. Oh
yeah, definitely.
Bro, we're so alike. It's fucking scary.
Yeah.
Like I super fuck with his hustle 100%.
Oh yeah,
that's what's
definitely.
up, man.
But yeah, people, that was Off the Dome. What is your sports story that didn't work out for you?
And if you could bring back one more season of any TV show, what would it be?
But no, we have FreshC in the house. Like I said, artist, producer extraordinaire. Like I said, co-host of the Hustler Journals podcast too, I might add. So he has something that he wants to bless the listeners of OS with as well. So we're going to get into that right now.
Yo, so check this out. Actually, I'm gonna drop a few gems.
Okay.
Some things that just like randomly happened this last week.
Okay.
First and foremost, I'm super excited. I won't find out till next week, but I made the second audition for Wu-Tang second season. So shout out to RZA and the people over there. Yeah, nobody knows about that. So I
love that show too. That show is great. That show is amazing. An American Saga. Oh yeah.
Yo, man. Like, and anybody out there that hasn't watched it, y'all gotta watch it. Even if you're not a Wu-Tang fan, like it's time to get familiar because
it's a good show. Like it's a good show. Like you don't even have to be like all the way into like Wu-Tang. And I'll be honest, like I'm not all the way into the music, but I buy into the brand. Yeah. So I watch the show. Oh, the show is great.
That's one of them. And then the second one is, I've been patiently stacking up beats and music for a long time. So the first single I'm gonna release is actually produced by my good friend Logic. The homies know him as Bobby Boy, but the first track of 2021 is produced by Logic, and it's called Attack of the Clones. So it's some rap shit. So I
like where you going. I like where you headed.
I'm ready.
I like this.
That's like a triple entendre because both of y'all are Twitch streamers as well.
Yeah, that is. I didn't even think about that.
I'm saying that's
now. Can I ask this? How did you start to explore acting? And can you speak on the Wu-Tang any of that? Okay.
Yeah, so it's been something that an old manager and an old agent that I have been asking me to do for a long time because they wanted earlier in my career, when I had my very first like distribution deal in the early 2000s, they wanted me to model first. And just mentally for me, I was like, what the fuck? Like, nah, I'm not trying to model. I wanted to make music. I don't want nothing to do with that. And more offers and more things would happen over and over. And everybody be like, yo, can you model this? Can you do this? And I'm like, I'm not a damn model. Like, I don't like that. But then I started thinking about it. I'm like, yo, I'm going about that all wrong. Like, this could be a different opportunity that I don't even know, like, that, a higher power is blessing me with. And I'm over here blocking my blessings because of my ego. So I deflated the shit out of the ego. And I was like, yeah, let's just go. Let me see what I could do. And I did it blindly. Because I get casting calls often and I just didn't know much about it. So I'm like, let's give it a shot. So I asked some of my really good acting friends and model friends in the industry, and they're like, yo, Fresh, just do it. These are some cue points, da, 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 da. So I went through it, read, the first one was just like a meet and greet, like a meeting. There was 57 of us. It went down to 25. The next 25, we had to say like a 16 bar line. So I had to recite some stuff for, Bobby's character, because the two characters I tried out for was a Latino drug dealer that's cool with RZA that runs into the situation between Ghostface Killer and Method Man in the what episode was it? It was like episode 9 of the first season.
Yeah.
And so there's that character, and then there's the other character that doesn't have a name yet, but they were just looking for a Latino or Hispanic character for that. And so I tried it, and I guess I did good. That's all I can say. Like, you know what I mean? Super novice, newbie, but that opened other opportunities because other directors hit me up after that audition and offered me other things that are, because this is more of a public casting. Private casting is different. And so directors from that same circle wanted to give me a private cast. And the private cast, holy shit, bro. Like, they gave me a breakdown of what they pay people. I'm like, okay, this could work out. Let me do this part-time. Yeah, you know what I mean?
I love it.
But yeah, on the Wu-Tang thing, of course, there's no expectations. Who fucking knows? I just took my shot blindly. Yeah. And like I said, I just deflated my ego, and I was just like, hey, let's just give it a shot. If I suck, I suck. Who cares? You know what I mean? And if I'm good, okay, I'm good. And I guess I brought good energy, so I got invited back. So time will tell.
Damn, Fresh dropping the gym. Oh my God. Like first of all, congratulations on both things. Like
thank you.
That's amazing. And we appreciate you for sharing that with us and sharing that with our listeners. Cause
yeah, hell yeah. Man, I'll give you guys
we need to get a manager.
The scoop.
Me and Ralph need to get a manager, man. Like I'm trying to be in TV shows and movies. Should I come model? I think people like dark skin, man.
Yo, real talk. It's not that hard to find casts. They're everywhere. I just, like I said, I just ignore them all the time. I just don't pay no attention. Literally, one place to try definitely is Backstage. Look up Backstage. There's always open casts all the time. They're legitimate people. They showed me a lot of love, and I ain't never even rocked with them. They just happened to be in the casting with other entities and management companies and stuff. It's like a fucking draft, yo. It's like, oh, we like this guy or this girl. Y'all can't have them. We want them for our show. And they start doing like hitting your DM or whatever. So there's a lot of opportunities out there, and I think you guys would be great. Me, I don't know. I was just filling a gap, just shooting a shot. You know what I mean? But if you guys are interested in that shit, like I think we could probably have another conversation off camera, and I can shoot you some other ways to look around, you know.
Most definitely.
Say less.
But let's talk about this, you know, while we have you, this Logic produced track that you have. Now, me and Johnny are, you know, we fool with Logic, you know, a long way. And we know that you are an artist producer. Now, how did it feel? Like, how did that whole collaboration even come about? Because I know that you produce your music as well. So how did, you know, were you trying to get a feature and he slits your beat? Like, how does that work?
Well, we already had a feature 2 years ago. So it was actually a secret track on It Ain't Easy on the CD version that I didn't even tell anybody about it. Just if they bought the CD, they were like, what the fuck is this? Well, track 10, there's only 9 tracks and they just got that surprise. So basically we met at Hollywood Bowl at one of his tour shows. Where I was actually shooting videos and going to meet with Capitol Records at the time. And so long story short, I met a former artist of his label, produced some songs for his album that didn't even come out, which sucks. But I busted a freestyle in the back room, and make a long story short, he just happened to hear it and was like, who the fuck is that? And they're like, oh, this is so-and-so. He produced for, and I'm not even going to say the other artist's name because I don't want to conflict because he's not on the label on Bobby Boy Records anymore. But I produced some records for him, and then he got in some deep shit later on down in his thing, you know. But I was just freestyling with him and then playing beats, just chilling. And I was there with the A&R from Capitol who introduced me to some other people there. So it was just right place, right time. And then he was like, holy shit, you're dope. Let me hear something, spit something. And then, so we dropped the track in the back of Hollywood Bowl, put it out on the, you know, it was the last song put out on It Ain't Easy. And we just kept contact. I've always rocked with Logic even before that ever happened. Like, I've always been a super fan since Young, Broken, Infamous. Like, before anybody even knew who or what Logic was. Right. But I do know a lot of people don't fuck with him. Specifically, to be honest, like, a lot of minorities seem to like, he gets a lot of shit for being very transparent, positive, and open. And I fuck with that heavy because he didn't let his negative situation tarnish him or make him bitter towards other people. And he took a lot of L's. A lot of people came at him fucking sideways, from industry to other rappers to, you know what I mean? And I respect him so much for the fact of not caving in, curling up, not going into it, and then his divorce. You know what I'm saying? He's been through a lot of shit publicly. Yeah.
That's true. Know? That's true.
And then him being biracial and me being biracial as well. You know, he's one of the few. I think J. Cole gets a lot more love and people don't really shit on him for that. Or Joyner. Same thing. Joyner is a mixed breed also. They don't get shit on for that, but for whatever reason, Logic got all the flack. He got all the hate for it. And I still to this day don't understand that shit. To me. Because dude could rap his ass off. He has novels. He's in movies, cartoons. Fucking could do a Rubik's Cube in like 38 seconds. Like, you know what I mean? It's crazy.
Shit's hard.
Crazy.
Yeah, I do have a theory on that, but that'll be a conversation for another day. I think I have an idea why Logic gets the flack that got the flack that he did about the whole biracial thing, but we'll say that for another day.
And and I don't mean to interrupt. Just to keep it real, we don't have to rush this at all. I just canceled the last joint because I'm a man of my word, so I'm here. Let's do this. So don't worry about no rushing. I'm here.
Oh, okay, it's lit. It's lit. I do want to remind the listeners, if y'all forgot, but the intro music that you hear to Oversaturated, the podcast, was created by FreshC. So the man is fire when it comes to making beats, man. So
yes, sir.
If you know a rapper, if you know a podcast, if you know anybody that's looking for instrumentals, talk to FreshC. And he has.
I appreciate y'all.
He got all kind of shit. He got some heat.
Thank you.
Definitely got some heat. Now let's get into some of these topics, man.
Yeah. Well, it's funny that you brought up J. Cole. Let's bring up J. Cole. J. Cole recently pulled out that he has an album possibly dropping in May. It was some type of message. I wouldn't say it was even cryptic. It just said to drop off whatever the name of the album is. Mm-hmm. It's coming soon. He was riding around his hometown of Fayetteville, North Carolina. What do you think about that, Fresh? Like, what are you excited for a new J. Cole project?
I mean, it's kind of hard for me because I think Forest Hills Drive and everything before that I was a big fan of. No hate whatsoever. It's just I've never really been on the J. Cole train. Like I super respect his artistry and I do respect his perspective and he kicks mad knowledge, but I just never really gravitated towards that. I do really fuck with and forgive me if I pronounce it wrong, but Bass, B-A-S or
Boss.
Mm-hmm. Man, I love his music.
Boss is dope.
Equally.
A lot of the Dreamville artists are dope. The thing is, I think because they're so lumped together under J. Cole, it's hard for them to kind of break out and be bigger stars because Omen, Boss, JID, a lot of these guys are dope.
Oh, JID too.
Yeah, a lot of these guys are dope, but let's get back to J. Cole. Like me, I try to stay on topic. But J. Cole, I'm excited for a project. And if the apex is 2014 Forest Hills Drive, which is now 7 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, I expect J. Cole to deliver on what he usually does, where he is in life, maybe a few current event topics here and there, and just blend it very well together. So me wanting him to seek out other production, that is off my checklist at this point. I just think that whatever he's gonna give us is gonna be at least a 7 out of 10. Like he doesn't really give us lackluster albums, in my opinion. That's true.
No, that's true.
Yeah,
I definitely agree with that. I like just as a disclaimer before I probably get shit on when everybody hears this, because I'm not the biggest J. Cole fan. Like J. Cole is dope. He's a dope lyricist. His message is pure, and he's a very impeccable artist for a lot of reasons. For me personally, I don't know. I have other artists that I would rather listen to. It's just all perspective. That's all. But you were saying about production and stuff like that, I think his production is always fire.
Mm-hmm.
I wish he would do more. What mixtape was that? Jesus.
What, Friday Night Lights?
No, yours truly.
Oh, yours truly. Oh yeah, those were amazing.
The production on those were tight. I don't know whatever happened to that because I think it was only 2 producers that were on that. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. I think it was only 2 producers on there, and I loved every one of them beats.
I don't know if so. I'm clearly going to listen to a new J. Cole album if it comes out, but I don't know if I'm excited or looking forward to it. Like I was ready for the fall off when KOD dropped, because he at the end of the album he had the intro to the fall off, whatever song that was. I think it was 1985 or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I was looking forward to the follow up of that, but I don't know, man. And I haven't gone back to KOD in a minute, and it's just am I really looking forward to new J. Cole music? Not necessarily. I don't know.
I'm with you on that.
I'm with
you on that.
Yeah, I would love for him to have new production as well, but I don't know, man. I don't know. It's interesting that, and I guess this is kind of leading into the next topic, but it's interesting that news came out around the same time that TDE dropped that cryptic message that somebody from the TDE camp is dropping on May 7th. So I guess we could get into that now. So
I think it's definitely correlated.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. So who do you all think from TDE is about to drop their album?
Go ahead, Ralph.
No, I'm just saying, if it's not Kendrick, you wasted the whole like announcement.
I agree. I agree.
Like, no disrespect to Schoolboy, Ab, whoever else is over there, like J-Rock, all of them are great artists, right? But if you wasted an announcement on the Ab Soul project, and Johnny, I know that's your man's.
Oh no, don't do that.
No, we ain't doing that. Ab Soul can drop. Ab Soul can drop today, and only Johnny and 7 other people would care, and that's no disrespect.
It might be true.
I'll be 8. I'll be 8.
But you're not going to sit here and tell me you're going to do a press release for an Ab Soul album when Kendrick hasn't dropped in 4 or 5 years? No. No.
You know what? I'm probably gonna get shit on for this too, but I'm not really a huge Kendrick fan. I think Good Kid, Mad City was it, and everything before that mixtapes. But I wasn't really impressed, and I haven't been impressed with anything Kendrick has really done since. To be perfect, I'd rather hear Ab-Soul first before a Kendrick album any day. That's gonna hurt feelings. I'm gonna get roasted for that, but I'm with the smoke.
Listen, it's all about a preference of the type of MC, basically. Because they're the whole camp, like everybody can spit, but the way, I guess the type of rapper each person is on TDE is a little different. So not everybody has the same type of taste, but for Ralph, that's hilarious.
I think, like,
I mean, it's true. It's true.
Marketing.
But at the same time,
marketing.
Kendrick is at that. Kendrick is damn near Beyonce level where he can just drop and people gonna run to this shit. So why even do this?
But why do it for anybody else?
and what's also crazy is that last year in 2020, TDE only had 1 drop, and that was Reason. So we know it ain't Reason coming.
And
so
J-Rock did before that, right? 2019.
Was that Redemption?
No, Jay was.
Or was it older?
He was 2018.
2018.
Okay.
Yeah. What if they have like 2 or 3 artists from TDE drop on the same day?
Oh, that'd be dope.
On some
That
good.
That would be dope.
That would be dope.
Be fire.
That'd be dope.
Okay, go ahead. What if they?
If they brought back Black Hippie too. I don't know if y'all ever rocked with them when they were together at that time, but Black Hippie was sick. I like that conglomerate.
Yeah, I wish they would do like some actual songs instead of like freestyling together. But that was around shit. That was hellas ago. That was around like Slaughterhouse time, if I'm not mistaken. That was
that was. It
was
a long
Slaughterhouse album time, or like 2009 when Slaughterhouse was popping.
The whole shit.
Oh,
well, don't even get me on the Slaughterhouse one.
If I'm not mistaken.
No, that's pretty on point. Yeah. It was quite some time ago.
Yeah, I mean, shit. That's this Friday, right? I'll be looking forward to see who it is dropping.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
I'm almost willing to bet nobody actually drops on Friday. They'll probably drop Saturday or Sunday or something. Honestly, there was, unless they should have told us who was dropping, there was really no reason for this announcement, to be honest. Like, really why are we even doing this?
Yeah, it's difficult to announce things that artists just typically do on their own, right? But let's talk about something that an artist announced, right? Now I know you guys are familiar with the music, but we're going to focus on the topic. Saweetie is going to artist development camp. Now, for those who aren't familiar, I think our listeners are very hip to Saweetie. She has 3 hits. You know, she has plenty of hits, but you know the. I'm trying to be good about this, right? Now she has Tap In, My Type, and Icy Girl, and she was just in a relationship out of the relationship with Quavo from Migos.
That's right.
So she has recently said that she's going to go to artist development camp to help on her breathing control, her performance, and other things, etc. So I want to ask Fresh, not necessarily Saweetie, but just what do you think about an established artist saying they're going to artist development?
I mean, the first thing I'll say is you can always learn more. I'm not mad at that. Yeah. I guess I look at it like, why did they publicize that? That's the only thing I'm kind of, because if I'm just a fan, if I'm not a musician, I get it. Like, hey, yo, do I need artist development? I think everybody does. But I'll get back to that. But I don't think they should have made that a headline, because if I'm looking at you and you're light years away from where I want to be and you're doing artist and development, automatically I'm like, so you're an industry plant, somebody wrote your songs, I'm gonna start looking at your production credits. Where the fuck are you in the industry? In a sense, it would make me question a lot of things. And so her validity would her being valid, Saweetie being valid, would be invalid to me now. And that would create like a conflict as far as my perception of that musician. However, as a musician, I respect it, because somebody who's being, I hope they're being vulnerable and open to it, not just like, hey, your shit sucks, you need some training, let's go. You know what I mean? Because when I read it, I was like, don't know. That's not a good look, but it's okay. That's all I have to say about that.
I think I'm happy she's self-aware. So clearly she felt like she needed work on these specific areas that she mentioned in the article. So I'm glad that she's self-aware. But like, again, why is this a headline? Exactly. I don't think anybody would have noticed. Let's say she goes through her artist development. Let's say it takes a year. I don't know about this stuff. It takes a year. So this time next year, when she's actually out performing at big venues and stuff, and I don't think anybody's really going to notice the change in performance and all the stuff that she worked on.
Yeah. This is an interesting case because it's bigger than Saweetie. It's bigger than Nino Brown, if you catch the New Jack City reference, right? It's just a lot of these record companies are plucking people that have a lot of followers, a lot of, Instagram fame or whatever the case is from the timeline and making them stars, and they're not ready yet. And not to say Saweetie can't have a level of being, a star, because I think she is a star. Maybe not to me. I don't listen to her music, but I know that she has a great, like a big following, right? It's a lot of people that fool with Saweetie, and they're not our demographic. So trust me. But the thing is, she's already got hits under her belt. So what are we developing? Like, what are we going back to the drawing board to develop? But it's another thing. She's a product of nepotism, and there's nothing wrong with that either. Like, hey, if hey, I'm gonna keep it a hundo. If MC Hammer is my cousin, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, I'm serious. Like, she's related to like MC Hammer and like Gabrielle Union. Put me on too. What you talking?
That's fake.
But
that's hard though.
I know when that is your family, like, yeah, put me on. Let me do something. But I never bought into like what she was as an artist, but this is her going back to the drawing board and fixing herself and helping her create some type of longevity rather than just being a microwavable artist. I'm with that. With that. And it's not just Saweetie. I'm talking about every single artist that falls into that category. Do things that hone your craft.
Oh yeah, I agree. And a lot of these record labels doing these 360 deals right now, they're exactly to a T what you said, Ralph, is they're like, okay, this person's got the look, he's got some fans, he or she, they're doing this, they're doing that. Okay, let's throw some money in their face and let's hang a bag over them and let's see if they'll jump. And that's usually what happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate to say it like this, but every opportunity that ever came my way that was similar as such, I didn't want that bag. I'm like, nah, I'll pass. I'm good. Like, I want to keep my masters, own my publishing. Like, I'm straight on that. You know what I mean? And that's the thing that a lot of these younger artists completely forget. I can't speak on Saweetie's situation because, just like Ralph said, I'm only familiar with headlines, a few tracks, and that's about it. I'm no disrespect. I'm not into it. But artist development is the one thing that skips for the last, I would say probably like last 8-9 years. You see a lot of artists pop, they one-hit wonders, and then they disappear and start doing Uber and shit. It's fucked up. You know what I mean? Yeah, I was just gonna say that, but I wasn't gonna say it. You know what I mean? It's going down.
Right. But let's talk about another like industry related kind of topic. When an artist goes to development, does everything the right way, and then they get underappreciated, like TeyanaTaylor, who just came out and announced her retirement. Now, TeyanaTaylor is in, I would think, the prime of her career. Like, I think that she can do and move and do anything that she wants to do as far as musically, as far as like being an actress, because she's been tied to a Diane Ward biopic. So it's a lot of things that, she's able to do industry-wise. But she announced her retirement from music due to her underappreciation at good music, Kanye West. So what do you think about that, Fresh?
I definitely don't think she should retire because she's amazing. She's a dope actor or actress. Let me correct myself. She's a dope actress. She has some dope tracks. I really enjoyed her contributions on Creed specifically. And what was the other joint prior to Creed? There was another film she was in prior to that I really enjoyed. Can't think of it off top, but I don't think she should retire. I think she should just collect, pick up the pieces, move from good music and find somebody. Actually, just do it independent. Like do it independent. Just
right.
Keep
I don't understand why she won't do that.
Yeah.
I kind of think this is another thing that kind of goes with newer artists. No disrespect either. Is I think everybody wants that instant gratification, and when they don't get it, they get pissed off and they feel like I'm not getting this, I'm not getting that. But the thing about this game, I don't care where you are, whether you're bottom level and you started yesterday or you've been doing this 20 years deep. If you have expectation for this game, it will fuck you up. And I've been in some dark places. I've been in some dark places even this last year with this game. They tell you one thing and they one opportunity comes and then next minute they pull the rug out from underneath you and the whole game changes up and people stop answering phone calls. It's a really, really cutthroat game. You just have to believe in yourself to the utmost to where it's almost ridiculous. Like you have to have a self-belief. To others, it may come off as cocky and arrogant, but it's just your self-belief is so powerful that you won't let anybody knock you off your tier. And I feel like a lot of these newer artists lack that tremendously.
Yeah.
For me with Teyana, it was the wrong place at the right time. I feel like that was the situation. Like
that's a damn good way to put it.
She clearly, TeyanaTaylor is a talented musician, talented artist. Like she can dance, she can sing, videos fire. She's a video director, like dope. It's unfortunate that she was placed in a position with Kanye. When he went off the fucking rails. Like if she was with Kanye earlier in both of their careers, I think Teyana would have been took off. I feel like she should have been.
Yeah. The thing with that is, right, she got with good music when good music started. So you have a lot of people on that record label, unfortunately, that had precedent over what she had going. You have Pusha T, you have John Legend, you have Big Sean, you have 2 Chainz, who's like affiliated but not signed. You know what I'm saying? And there's probably somebody. It's probably somebody else. I'm not.
Well,
you had Common on there for a while too.
Yeah, Common was on. Yeah. Common was on there. So like you have all these people, and I'm not sure who necessarily was getting your attention. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing about being a part of a big a record label conglomerate as such. You know what I'm saying? They placed you in this umbrella with Kanye, and it sounds good on paper. And she had great features. Like she had, the stuff that she was doing was great, but it's just, why didn't it take off for her? And maybe it was because she wasn't given the right amount of attention that a lot of these artists, the other artists got. Because Big Sean got a big push when good music first started. Like he was.
he kind of sat around for a little bit too, though. If you remember, he wasn't like he didn't really get a lot of love when he first came because he got signed and sat for like 2 years. He only came out with like a mixtape, like the Detroit mixtape. There's something that came before that, and I think it had to have been at least 2 years.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it was like 2 years that he sat.
Maybe it was artist development. I don't know.
Probably.
I don't know. But I mean, but the thing is, Big Sean's career was able to take off where Teyana's wasn't, and that's where I guess the disconnect is coming, because like even Saha got an album out, like and I'm talking about not one of those 7-track joints. You know what I'm saying? Like a full length 18.
Hold on, we can't hear you, bro.
Oh shit! Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Good.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Oh, okay. All right.
Damn. But yeah,
no, that was able to happen for him though.
Again, man. Wrong place at the right time, man. It's unfortunate. I'm sad that she announced her retirement, but I feel like because she does enjoy music so much, I feel like she's not really going to retire. I feel like in another few years, she may get that itch again and decide to put out some shit independently, which I hope that happens.
I agree.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'm sure she's about to do like some other things in the entertainment industry, but at some point I feel like she's gonna get that itch again. So hopefully she comes back with some new music.
Okay.
I just hope she can, because she might be retiring because her contract might have her, stuck and pinned for another album or 2 years or 3 years. So realistically, contractually, she might not be able to put out music. Maybe that's why she jumped ship.
If that's the case,
she might be pulling the Mace, because Mace retired and he had to come back. When he came back, we got welcome back. Like he had to go back. He had to go back to Bad Boy when he came back. Like, which is, hey, you still owe. She still might owe Kanye an album or two. Like, Fresh is right.
I bet you that's. It sounds like that's kind of what it might be.
That's unfortunate. If that's the case, that's hella unfortunate. Because she has everybody on Good Music put out more than one album.
No.
Pusha T one.
Two.
What was his second album was Good Music?
What, Daytona?
The one before that.
My Name is My Name. We just talked about this. My Name is My Name. And then
I thought that was his King Push. That's the one I was thinking. So all of those were good music.
That's 3 albums.
All of those were good music though. Okay. See, I didn't.
Well, you got it. To my knowledge, just right off the jump, when Good Music came about, Kanye's actually had good music since his inception, like since his Rockefeller days. A lot of people don't know that. So like there were artists like GLC
and Consequence.
Consequence at least got one album, because I still got it. Don't quit your day job. It's fucking fire.
I did have that album.
Yeah. Malik Youssef, he had one album. He had that track "Would You Like to Ride," which was dope. Mos Def never dropped an album, but he was on D'banj, I think is how you pronounce the name.
Okay.
There was one more, Q-Tip. Q-Tip was also on.
He was signed.
Yep. And never dropped the album.
Was Universal Mind Control on Good Music?
I don't think so.
I only say that because I know Ralph don't like it.
I pray to God that it
yeah.
I pray to God that it was.
Shout out to Tribe one time.
But now I'm gonna quote my good brother Johnnie and say, "Good place and what bad time?
Wrong place, right time.
Wrong place, right time."
Yeah.
Because now we have another industry related topic with DJ Quik, West Coast legend. Production, all that great stuff. He burnt his royalty check online because he wants his proper credit for a lot of the hits and things that you guys didn't even know that he was a part of. But he was a part of these projects. He helped. He used they sampled a lot of his material for these projects, and he wants his proper credit. Now, let's just get into it. Fresh, you being an artist producer, what does this do for you?
Yo, like real talk, Quik, they need to put some respect on his name, because the fucked up part about that is Quik has been around since the late 80s. Like he's been in the game. True. He's got hits, multiple platinum albums. He's helped anybody that we could probably discuss from the West. Yeah. He's definitely had his imprint on something, from E40 to Sugar Free to Mac Mall to Tupac to Death Row to fucking who's this he had his own crew. Same thing, like Exhibit, the Alcoholics, like all these OGs. He's produced everybody. Kendrick, like I don't even think people really know that he didn't produce a whole track, but they sampled drums, kicks, and a synth. I think it was King Kunta. It might not be, or Mortal Kombat. It was one of those two.
Yeah. That's what he was saying in the that's what's listed here in the article and the video.
Oh shit! Well, yeah, there you go. Okay.
Yeah, he talked about that. He talked about how he helped with Nelly's Hiding Here, which I
definitely didn't know.
I didn't know that either. I did not know that.
50 Cent in the Club has some elements of his production in there, and If I Can't. So those are two huge songs off of Get Rich or Die Trying. So that's huge. And if he's properly not getting paid, that's an issue. And me and Johnnie talked about this, I want to say the last episode, with ghostwriting and how people just are included in these sessions, and they might add a word or add a line and something like that. And then if they're not properly credited, or if they are, how does that look for the said artist? Yeah.
That's crazy.
the thing about it now that's so fucked up is like, this is for all my musicians out there. Always secure your publishing, because your publishing is basically like your rights. Imagine having, let me put it to perspective for like people who don't quite understand what that is. Your publishing is equivalent to like your birth certificate and your social security card. If somebody else snatches both of those up, who are you, right? So if you don't own your name and you don't own who you are, you're already lost. It don't matter what hits you come out with. If somebody's else's name is on that publishing, even though you contributed to it as a writer or a composer, or producer, or engineer, mix and mastering, whatever it is you're doing, if your name is not on that credit, you got to think you only have to be right one time. And what I mean by that is you only have to contribute to a dope record one time to be secure for life. So if you got thousands of records and you ain't getting credit for it, there's all that back pay, all that back publishing, all those royalties that somebody's scooping up out of your pocket and taking out of your kid's mouth. So I respect DJ Quik for basically burning that bullshit ass $100 check and being like, fuck you guys. Yeah. You know what I mean? I respect that.
It's crazy. They really need to give my man his credit, because even aside from the whole money publishing thing, it's like I feel like that changes his legendary status as a producer, because I had no idea he had a hand in a lot of these songs. I had no idea. So now you got to start thinking about him as a person, as an entity that gets sampled all the time. It sounds like that's crazy.
Now, one thing. Oh no, go ahead, Fresh.
I was just gonna add one thing. The only other producer / rapper that ever had such an impact, but did get credit, but didn't like the credit, was Jay Dilla. A lot of people don't know that Jay Dilla produced for so many people, and he didn't even want the credit. He didn't even care about it. He's like, oh yeah, I did that record when he was alive. That's crazy. Oh yeah, I did that, with plaques sitting on his floor and shit. Like he's just like, oh yeah, I got that for whatever. Or oh yeah, I was on whatever hit. You know what I mean? Brandy, the Monicas, the Two Shorts. Like he did everything.
Jay Dilla was a different type of. He was a different type of guy. But let's talk about what's not being discussed, which can be an underlying issue. You have two super producers here, Pharrell and Dre, which are tied to not possibly giving Quik his flowers or his money per se. And they're well off. And I ain't saying DJ Quik is broke. Like, so let me clear that up. I ain't saying that. But I would assume that he doesn't have Pharrell and Dre type of money. Mainly because they have endorsements and investments and all that great stuff. But
yeah, I agree with that.
Listen, I don't know, like that. As other producers in the game, and you are, like Ralph said, those producers are well off, Pharrell and Dr. Dre. Why, or like, what is it about them that they're not giving DJ Quik his proper credit? I don't understand that.
Well, here's one solution that I think could alleviate the confusion on that too, is a lot of time it doesn't even have anything to do with the artist. You got to think, where was Quik, Dre, and Pharrell at that time, and who were they signed to? Because you got to think, a lot of these things don't go artist to artist direct. It's like you go to agent number 1, manager number 2, co-artist number 3, and then you get through the loop. So there's a lot of shit. So it might not be Dre and it might not be Pharrell. It might be their people who negotiate these deals, because whenever you do a collaboration with anybody, there's always got to be paperwork drawn. That way you can get the proper publishing credits. You can submit it to societies, and you're good to go. If that paperwork isn't drawn up correctly and signed and sealed from the jump, you already got a problem. And the unfortunate part about the music industry, let's take it back to where Quik's talking about Dre. Let's go back to the 90s, because Quik was definitely affiliated with Death Row for a lot of years. We all know that. And it was probably off some GP type shit. Like, yo, let me get these drums for you, dog, or let me do this synth for you, or this 808. And I'll get you. It's all good. Like, we'll do whatever. And it never happened. And then when artists flip flop to different labels and go through different management, everybody gets a piece of that pie. But you know damn well that Dre and Pharrell, at least I can't say no damn well. Let me correct myself. More than likely, they are not the people that are holding Quik back, in my opinion. Yeah, in my opinion.
That's very true, because you hear these things more so about Dre than you ever hear about Pharrell. You don't really hear bad business on Pharrell end. Like, what I'm saying? The worst thing I've heard about him industry-wise was like, him and TeyanaTaylor didn't work out, kind of tying back to our last, segment. He, that didn't work, so now she's with good music. Okay, that's it. But I haven't heard anything. I'm pretty sure there's, somebody out there that will correct me on that. But Dre, you kind of hear about, not saying he steals, but he does kind of put himself in the room with certain people. Like we know he didn't produce everything on Death Row because Death Row was he was there for the beginning, but he did leave. So you had Daz Dillinger that produced a lot of that stuff. Like you said, DJ Quik produced a lot of that stuff. So you have other producers in the room, but Dre might have just, I don't know. I don't know because I wasn't there. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just, industry talk. That's what I've heard. Industry rumors.
So if that is the case where it was a manager on manager like interaction, what's the process for, I guess, going forward, what's the process for getting DJ Quik his proper credit? Like, does it depend on contracts, or because contracts can be amended? But I feel like if that's the case, there's going to have to be a lot of different channels to go through before he can actually get the proper credit, because it's more than just people coming out and saying, oh yeah, DJ Quik did do this. It's way more than that. We got to get this shit in writing so he could be properly compensated.
Now, it's kind of hard, and it's not a one size fits all kind of thing. So you got to think, if it was something like going back to the 90s, let's just hang out there for a hot second. Like if all these things he's complaining about was back in the 90s and early 2000s, you got to think of how much the game has developed and changed over time and where it was then. So the gray areas, we don't know what kind of contract Quik signed and they signed to collaborate. We don't know if they don't have one, never did, but you can file claims on these with your society. And I hate to say this, but I've had this instance twice within my career. One with a bootleg ass old manager that I had that basically took my first smash hit I ever got and jacked me for my royalties. So there's one so I know what it's like to file claims, DCMA claims or DMCA claims on royalties. Number two is you can get certain contracts amended. However, with music contracts, it doesn't always work that way, depending on whatever the fulfillment ratio was. There's so many things, but is it possible to fix it? I think if Pharrell and Dre spoke up, hey, this gentleman, I think the powers that be will follow suit. But if they choose not to, I don't know.
And this is interesting, right? Because you're seeking back pay validation for work that is 20, 30 years old now. How does that work like in the music industry, where we know that these things are just it's like it's a short, it's very like just, it's just bad. I can't even get my words together, but it's just, you can't really, like, is it worth fighting the good fight for this?
Right.
I mean, if you love your craft, or
if you want your respect, I can't speak to that. You know what I'm saying? But if you're talking about like the actual money, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how is it really?
I don't think well, I'm only going to speak for myself. If it was 30, I'll just let me put this spin on it. If it was my perspective and it was 30 years ago, I probably wouldn't have waited 30 years to open my mouth and be like, where the fuck's my bread at?
I was going to. That's exactly what I was going to go to.
That's me, though. If I'm on your record and we're doing some kind of business, my name's going on that paperwork before you even get any chance to do shit. So I know you're good. I'm good. We're copacetic. Even if you hate me 2 years later and I dislike you and we don't communicate, there ain't no funny money going on. That would be me. Two, I don't know if I would have taken it to social media and made it a rant, because I think that makes you look kind of weird in a way, because it could look like you're desperate, like you're broke as fuck. And you're out there like, yo, where's my money now that I didn't care before and I might have said some shit, but now I'm broke. So give it to me. I don't like that shit.
And you have two of the biggest hits in the past 20 years. Hiding Here in the Club. Depending on who you ask, you know what I'm saying, those are huge hits.
Right.
Songs that get played in like arenas and stuff like that. Like you hear those. So now you want your money, you could have been spoken up, like you just said, Fresh. Like you could have been said something. We don't know his situation. We're just speaking because you put it out there now.
Right,
you know?
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. We never would have even known had you not said anything.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
So.
But I just think it's too late, kind of. In my own perspective, I would have probably reached out privately and we don't know, maybe he did. Maybe he has. Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I would have reached out privately first, because once you go on social media, you can't really go back from that. Like, and they can make a mockery of you, and you might be making a mockery of somebody else just because you were lost in the moment. And unfortunately, we all know how the fucking internet is. Like, trolls be just trolling. Like, they'll pick up something you did in 2009 and like blast you
with it like it's fresh.
For
No pun intended.
For real.
But
that's my opinion.
This was dope because like no one's discrediting DJ Quik and his legend status. We're just discussing like the in and outs of this business, and we glad this is dope that you were on here for this week. Like, see how the stars align for this?
Man, listen, all music topics is dope.
We would have talked about this 3 minutes and been out of here. Been out of here. But we're glad that you brought your perspective on this. Now let's see. We had maybe 1 or 2 other topics here. Let's see here. DJ Khaled dropped his new album, Khaled, double names. I'm not really sure what that is. Now, I have no real takes on this album because honestly, I'm off the DJ Khaled album hype train. I don't listen to DJ Khaled albums anymore. I used to, not so much anymore. But one particular collab always catches your eye. We have to talk about this. Nas and JayZ on the track once again in their twilight years, I might add. But Sorry Not Sorry, featuring James Fauntleroy and the Harmony 5 or something of that nature. Fresh, were you able to check out the track?
I did check out the track, and that's the only thing I cared about for Khaled. I'm sorry, but We the Best 09, you know what I mean? Like all that rah-rah's gone for me. I'm sorry.
DJ Khaled makes the best forgettable music of all time.
No,
you wouldn't say that?
No, I wouldn't say that.
He's got great music.
He has a few, like he had a few joints that's just around forever. Like All I Do Is Win is his. I'm on One is his. Like it's a lot of them. It's a few of them.
I mean, like the album. So I actually did listen to the album.
Oh,
and
okay. No, I wasn't doing that to myself.
The song. There were good songs on the album. Like the songs are good, but they're not good enough for me to like go back and say, "Damn, I really gotta listen to this."
Fair enough. If you're talking about albums, yeah, but
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like if you're talking about like an anthem or two, like
no. Listen, no.
Nobody wants to see DJ Khaled in the first.
No. That's not what I'm saying. That's not at all what I'm saying. No, he definitely got anthems. I mean, when you listen to his albums, like
fair enough.
It's good music. It's decent music on these albums, but it's not good enough for me to say, damn, let's put in that new DJ Khaled. Like, no, I'm not doing
I like his energy though. I like his energy that he brings, and like he's more of like
even that's not enough to bring us
like
back.
I don't consider him as this is gonna sound bad, but I don't really consider him like a musician or
me either.
Not even like anybody in the music industry. I just kind of look at him like, okay, you've been surrounded by great people, blessed with a great community of people. Like, hey, if I don't even like Rick Ross, but if I had Rick Ross and Drake and Wayne and all these dope ass MCs around just to get beats so they could blow up, like, come on, man. Like, he walked into that. Like, it's like, you want to stay trapping in the hood or you want to kick it with us in the mansion? I'm in the mansion, let's go. You know what I mean? Like, that seems like what he does, but I think he's more of a personality than a musician or a producer.
100%.
His personality attracts attention.
Yeah.
So about this Sorry Not Sorry track, what did y'all think about it? Because I saw the social media streets going crazy.
I'm a huge Jay fan, and I am also a huge Nas fan. So to see them, despite the past beefs and all the drama they've had, I respect both of those gentlemen for just being in the game still. Nas 93, 94, and Jay 96 and to the present. Both of them guys, you got to give them their respect for just being legendary icons and passing the bar over and over again. So to me, that record makes that whole album. I don't even care who else is on it, to be honest.
I'm almost in the same line of thinking. Like, if we're just talking about the song itself, I enjoy songs like that. I don't get what the big thing is about. You know what I'm saying? Like, I enjoy James Fauntleroy. I think he's a dope singer, songwriter. JayZ and Nas, like, okay, you can go back and forth on who you think had the better verse. Like, okay, if we're doing that. But I just think that the song itself is cool. Like I don't think it's like the greatest thing I've ever heard. I'm not holding Jay and Nas to the apex of the 90s. Like that's not what they are. Those are two old, too old talking shit on the song. And that's how I look at it.
Yeah, it's like two of your successful uncles who stopped drinking at
just talking shit back and forth.
You know what I'm saying?
Nas rapped about cryptocurrency, man. Come on, man.
No. My man called himself the crypto Scarface. Did nobody else laugh when they heard that?
I did, but I wasn't gonna say that.
I was so weak, like, and maybe it's true, but that shit is funny. And all right, I'm gonna be that guy. Mm-hmm. How many different ways is JayZ going to tell us he's rich and married to Beyonce? Like I feel like every verse we get from him for a long time is that's what the verse is. It's just on different beats.
Apology to her.
I bring some context to that because if you really think about it, this is messed up because he came to Phoenix not too long ago. This is pre-pandemic, and nobody was there, and it was like weird. It was very weird for me.
Was it a concert?
Oh yeah, it was tour. It was the tour that he had. I can't remember the name of the tour, so forgive me for that. But he was on the tour, and there were empty spots like JayZ. Like it was weird. So unfortunately, I think the smart way that Jay does his thing is for a lot of people who haven't been Jay fans for a long time. When he was with Jaz-O early in the game, he actually rapped super fast.
Yeah, I remember that.
And nobody wanted to give him a deal. This dude was rapping with Big L, like all the legendary lyricists of the game back then, and just murdering it. But nobody wanted to hear that, unfortunately. So what he did is like the same concept that I kind of use for a lot of this new stuff that's coming out. He put the pills in the applesauce. Like he still gave you the medicine. You just don't know that you got it because he still has lines and bars and all his music that I feel like get overshadowed tremendously. But because of the fact of the way and where the culture is currently, those are usually the only three things you hear. Okay, Beyonce, Rock Nation, or this or that, like something attached to it. But if you really,
I sold Tidal, I'm a billionaire. Like we know.
Yeah,
he didn't say that, but okay, Johnny.
Yeah, but I just think people
at the beginning of his verse, he kept saying B. One of those B's was meant to be referring to him being a billionaire.
Title. You were trolling. No, you didn't say title.
Oh well, shit.
I was thinking about that too.
Maybe because I think I read an article that he sold the rest of his stake in Tidal to somebody.
Well, no, the Tidal stuff finally went through.
We
talked about this weeks ago, but the sale finally went through.
Okay. That's what it was. Okay, got you. All right.
Yeah, I think like he's always been. If you go back even to the Black album when he quote unquote fake retired. You know what I mean? There's quite a few lines in there where he references this exact subject, and one of the ones is how does it go? Truthfully, how does a bar go? He's talking about Common. He's talking about basically rapping lyrical and basically saying like if he would have been rapping like Common Sense, he would have still been underground. Nobody would have been listening to him. But I sold 5 million. I guess I ain't been rapping since Common Sense. You know what I mean? So he always had that way to stay industry, attaching himself to who's hot and popping and keeping his name going without having to dig too deep, because a lot of people unfortunately like sleep on his lyricism. Like this dude ghost wrote for Dre, like nothing but a G thing, still a G thing, like wrote Snoop's lines. Like a lot of people don't know that shit.
Everybody goes wrote for Dre. Listen.
But Snoop though, come on.
I know. I'm just.
That's a hard
trolling.
one.
I'm just trolling because of JayZ. Because I have to do that. That's all.
I got you.
Listen, the song wasn't bad. The song was decent. It's not even the best song on the album. The song with Cardi B, and I can't remember the name of it at the moment, but that's the best song on the album. Cardi went off. Promise.
Oh. I wasn't going to chase down that Cardi song. I was like, I listened to it when it hit the radio.
No, I get it. I definitely get it. But it's definitely to me, it's definitely the best song on the album.
I can't argue with you because I didn't listen to the album.
Which is cool. I'm letting y'all know. I'm letting the listeners know. Like, sorry, not sorry. It's an okay song, but it's not worth the hype that people displayed on social media. But I knew that was coming anyway.
I would say it's worth it because it's still JayZ and Nas, man.
Yeah,
I mean on paper definitely, but
yeah,
that's about it.
The only reason why I say that is I saw the track list, and I don't care for Cardi B at all. I'm sorry, I'll pass on that. I don't even want to hear a Cardi song. You'll never hear that in my trunk. But I respect whatever it is the industry did for her, but I can't get behind that. I can't get behind that at all.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's a preference thing, which is fine.
Yeah. No hate. It's not my cup of tea.
Like we talked about last week. We talked about ghostwriting, and Cardi is one of those ones, right? I think when the industry identifies you as being a star, they'll give you some bars. Go rap them. Like,
yeah,
it just works like that, which is unfortunate for the person that actually writes and takes time to perfect their craft. When you're not necessarily the star in the industry's eyes.
Yeah, that's cheating. I don't respect that. That's cheating. Like if you're cutting corners to get into the game, I just can't. I just can't.
It's plenty of them. We see them all the time.
I know. It's too hard. That's too hard for me. Nope.
Let's see here. Now, I think we kind of reached the end of just like our news topics. I'm not sure if maybe you guys want to discuss Mortal Kombat or anything like that. Or
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, okay,
I haven't had the opportunity to see it.
Never mind.
We'll skip
it. I don't want to spoil anything for you, man.
Shit, I didn't have nothing else. Did you have something else, Ralph?
No, I'm good, bro. Like that was a good conversation, man.
Definitely. So before we wrap up, again, we want to shout out Fresh for stopping on and dropping those bombs on us. We appreciate that. When the Logic song come through, send it through, man, so we can hear it.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely send it to you guys for sure. And I'm not putting the date out there yet because I'm just not. It's just gonna happen sometime.
Yeah.
Sometime this year. It's just gonna happen. That's all I could leave with that.
Okay.
For sure.
But definitely next year when that Wu-Tang season 2 come out, or maybe this year, I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll be looking for that.
We'll be looking for your name in the credits.
I hope so. Even if I'm just the dude by the lunch truck somewhere, like, hey, just for a minute. I'm just happy to be present.
Word. I'll take that too. So before we sign off, leave the people with your social media and where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me on all social media at The Real FreshC. Preferably, more than likely, I'll be hanging out on Twitch more than social media. So you can find me on there nerding out, playing with my Rubik's Cubes and hanging out with, gamers and playing retro video games. But yeah, The Real FreshC on all social media, and FreshC is if you want to check out my jams and, tune in. And as always, I super respect Johnnie and Ralph both. Thank you guys so much for having me on the pod. It's always a pleasure. We always have some good laughs and some shit talking.
Definitely. This was a great episode. You're right.
Listen, I think you're the first repeat guest outside of people that we knew before the podcast. Like everybody that's been a repeat guest, we've known them for a long time. So I think you're the first repeat guest that we met while podcasting.
Yeah, I'm appreciative because it's a blessing to be here. You know what I mean? And I appreciate you guys greatly. You guys are great people. You have a great pod. I be listening, laughing all the time. You guys made me laugh, bro. You know what I mean? Like you guys have a great podcast. I did want to say one thing is the Hustler's Journal podcast is no more. I sold it. So I just it got to I sold it at the beginning of this year. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to keep up with it, and I didn't want to starve the fans and kind of put that on them. I had to take some bricks out the backpack, and that was one that had to go, unfortunately.
But even being in a position to be able to sell it is dope in itself. So
hold on, wait. Did you catch the bricks out the backpack reference? Yeah. Like the chick on the steps, like going into the
Yo,
I caught that. I'm sorry.
I didn't even catch it till you said it. Yeah,
that's a bar. See, that was a bar.
Damn. Speaking of raps, raps language.
That's what's up, man. All right, you got anything else for the people, Ralph?
No song of the week for you. This week, but we'll be back next week once we're in town. I mean, once in the same space. Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, with that, again, thanks FreshC for sitting in with us and joining in on our topics. And that's episode 106.
106.
And we'll holler at y'all next week.
Yeah.
Peace.
Peace, y'all.